Hello friends, in this video I will show you how to configure a secondary domain controller with integrated DNS for backup and redundancy. And this is the lab scenario for our demonstration. We have a domain controller named lab-this01.empiartv.lab and the IP address of our DC is 192.168.1.201. We have another server named lab-this02 and it is a workgroup server. The IP address of our lab-this02 is 192.168.1.202. You must have to assign a static IP address on this server which you want to promote as a secondary domain controller. And on a secondary domain controller, your preferred DNS IP should be the primary DNS server's IP address. Let's move on to our virtual machine. So this is the my lab-this02 and as you can see it is a part of the workgroup. The IP address on our server is 192.168.1.202. Let's check the connectivity with our domain controller. Let's ping to the IP address of our domain controller and that is 192.168.1.201. And as you can see, we are receiving a replace from our domain controller. Let's check DNS connectivity as well using NSLOOKUP utilities. So as you can see, our DNS server is also responding. Let's type exit and let's close this console. On the server manager, click on dashboard, click on add roles and features. In the add roles and features wizard, read over the notes before you begin. Once done, click on next. Select role based or feature based installation and then click on next. In your select destination server windows, you will most likely only see one selection, which is the server you are on. If there are more than one in the list, make sure you select the server you are on and then click on next. Select Active Directory Domain Service. A pop-up will launch to confirm that there are other features that need to be installed with your Active Directory Domain Service rule. Click on Add Feature to add them. Let's select DNS server as well. Let's again click on Add Features and then click on Next. In the Select Features screen, you do not have to select any extra feature. Click on Next. Read over things to note about your Active Directory Domain Service rule. Once done, click on Next. Read over things to note about your DNS server role and once done, click on Next. Click on Install to start the installation. Once your installation is done, click on Close to close this console. Installing the Active Directory Domain Service role and the DNS server role is done. Now we need to configure them to work with our primary setup. In Server Manager, at the very top under your notification icon, you will see a yellow triangle with exclamation mark indicating an action that needs to be done, which in our case is setting up the new domain controller and DNS. Click on the icon, click on Promote this server to a domain controller. Make sure that Add a domain controller to an existing domain option is selected. Now under Specify the domain information for this operation, click on Select. It will ask us to specify the credential. Let's specify the credential of our domain administrator and that is administrator at Empiartv.lab and let's specify the password as well and click on OK. Select our domain and that is Empiartv.lab and click on OK. Click on Next. Make sure domain name system server and global catalog are selected and then let's specify the directory service restore mode password. This can be any password, does not necessarily have to be the same as domain admin password. Then click on Next. You will see a warning saying that the DNS delegation has failed. You do not have to worry about it. Once we are done with this wizard, everything will work. Click on Next. In the additional options screen, under Replicate From, select lab-this01.empiartv.lab. This is our primary domain controller and then click on Next. Here under Path, leave everything with the default entries and then click on Next. Review all of your selected options and then click on Next. Wait for the server to finish prerequisites check. When it is done and you get the green check mark, click on Install to start the installation. Once done, the server will need to be restarted to finish the installation. If you did not run into any problems, everything should be set up now. After a restart, it should already be set up as a secondary domain controller with integrated DNS. So after restart, let's again log into our domain controller. Let's specify the password of our domain administrator. Now once we log into our second domain controller, let's verify our setup. Let's click on Tools, select Active Directory Users and Computers. Let's expand our domain name. In our case, it is Empiartv.lab. Let's click on Domain Controller Container, and here, as you can see, we have a two domain controller. First one is lab-dc01, that is our primary domain controller, and this is our secondary domain controller, which we promoted right now, name lab-dc02. Let's again click on Tools, select DNS, expand lab-dc02. And under forward lookup zone, as you can see, we have two forward lookup zone. First one _msdcs.empiartv.lab and empiartv.lab. So as you can see, the all domain information has replicated from your primary domain controller to secondary domain controller. So in this way, we can set up a secondary domain controller in Windows Server 2016. And this concludes the video demonstration on how to install additional domain controller in Windows Server 2016. Thank you for watching this video.